What are your that's
College football playoffs underway. Let's take it to Oxford, Mississippi. Number 6, Miss in the first round with the win over Tulane, and they will move on to play Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. And the man who coached Miss for the majority of the seasons in the booth with us now, new LSU head coach Lane Kiffin. What are your emotions? What do you think when you watch the highlights from Oxford? It was awesome, man. That was a great day. It really was. I don't understand that. To watch those guys and how much they were smiling and be able to have that success and the biggest game in the history of the state of Mississippi and to blow out Tulane like that. It was awesome watching them. I was really excited for him. What has been job number 1 for you taking over as the LSU head football coach? Well, I think first getting his staff. And again, it's been an interesting time frame with, Ole Miss still playing and we've let some of our coaches go back there to coach, so they've kind of been doing both jobs at the same time. And but we had a little practice at that. I was thinking, when I was with Coach Saban, Kirby Smart went and took the Georgia job and then he and a couple of his coaches including the defensive coordinator came back and helped us go win the national championship and then went back to Georgia. So, we're kind of in a similar position there. And so getting the staff and then now working on our own current players and then also evaluating all the players out there for the portal opening. Injured offensive lineman for Houston. So, a break in the play. Let me ask you this. You come to a game like tonight, spending time on the phone, you're working, you're doing a lot of different things. What do you watch specifically when it comes to Blake Baker and his defense because he's sticking around with you? Yeah. I didn't have as much time as you think. I saw the opening kickoff with Berrien, and then I'd get on the phone. He's had some people calling some agents. This is the world we live in now. It's all your agent. That job. Yeah. Yeah, that one's done. This one's a lot harder. So, but Blake's done a great job. We're excited to keep him and that'll keep a lot of the defense players I think and keep the system the same so there's not so much transition. We're excited about our offensive system that we bring in when we've been running for a long time now and get to bring it to LSU with these great players. Whether they're still here or whether they're getting ready to come in 7 days, 6 days from now, whatever it is. And so it's going to be exciting time. One thing with this LSU program that comes with it is how much talent is going to be coming out of the high schools near you. Is that going to change your philosophy on recruiting as portal versus high school players? Yeah, it definitely does. I think you have an individual plan for wherever you're at and LSU being LSU in the state of Louisiana like down there with Malik Neighbors, just 15 minutes ago. You got so many great in-state players in Louisiana. Like Saban said, more per capita than any other state when it comes to NFL players. So to keep those guys home is a huge priority to build through high school and to add to the portal. Different than what we had to do in state Mississippi. Woodman sets up. He shared with us that it was a very intense 3-hour meeting with the staff to go over personnel and get you how aware were you of this LSU roster prior to taking the job? Well, we were aware of it. We played it the last few years and so we knew a lot about it. But also we're in a world of portal and free agency where a lot of the rosters change now every year and then you add people as you look at we talked about in-state recruiting at Ole Miss no significant players on that offense at all which is probably the best offense in college football are from Mississippi. All those guys came in to be part of what we were doing so keep the high school players here and then add players like we did before and that's sky's the limit is big chunk of your staff is still with Miss. How have they handled this transition period trying to win a national championship? Yeah, they're doing a great job. You saw their performance in the last game and they came back after that game, came down here for a couple days and now they're back there. I was just on the phone with Charlie Weiss and we were talking about quarterback rankings just as we were going over them at night. So sometimes we have our staff meetings even though they're back there when Pete's done with his, and then we get on, and have our own. So, We're just trying to make it work for both sides so Ole Miss can have the best chance to win a national championship, and then we can also be building what we are here. You kind of get your own reset though as well. Is there anything that you feel like you would like to change, alter about how you build this LSU program now that you get to do it again? I don't know. I think you're always learning from things and taking them. I remember Coach Carroll used to say, it was his third head job when he got to USC, and Coach Saban saying, he hadn't done before. And so, you're always growing, evolving, and trying to figure out your plan. And so, there's a lot of things that we would take from things that we didn't do well and things we did really well at the last places that we've been. I'm glad you brought up learning things. We got this for you. Okay. You've been learning a little bit there. Don't worry about the 20 cents. Next time you'll have that on you. Okay. Well, there's a better story to it than really what it was. First, Landry wasn't supposed to post that. So, I was playing a little bit to Landry, kind of joking with her, but I did. I was proud of myself that I went to self-checkout, and all by myself. Proud of you, too, Coach. Yeah. Well, they asked me to go get things. And it was funny. I was in the aisles, and I was watching all the guys on FaceTime 'cause it's Christmas, and they're all on FaceTime with their wives 'cause they don't know how to shop, So, they're having to learn from their wives 'cause it's their one day to go shopping. So, and then I got to the end, and then it was like you got to push the buttons on it, and it was like there were no bags, and then so I just put it in that, and then walked out. So, we did bring the basket back. You took the basket back. Correct. What's the longest you've gone without posting on social media? I don't know. I need a little detox from it maybe. But it's kind of the world we live in, that it's not just to do things out of nowhere. So often I get on the phone with a recruit or a recruit's mom or dad, come in the office like, hey, we feel like we know you because we follow your social media. It's so funny. It's so entertaining. And so it kind of gives us a way into people's living room when we can't get there. Connor Whitman's a great story. I mean, you saw him in the SEC at Texas A&M, the ability to kind of reinvent yourself with a fresh start. He's pretty impressive so far.